All right, welcome to episode 177. And in this episode, we're going to explore the concept of when you don't say something and the consequences of your silence. That's kind of what we're going to explore. So I got a couple stories to start off with, and then we're going to get out and go do some things. So the first story, I was talking about YouTube. I was talking about my third son, and he was asking me some questions and some things about it. And he said, "Well, do people ever like give you money, donate money to support you, patron?" I said, I've got a Patreon account, but I've never actually mentioned it except down in my comments, down in my description. He goes, "Well, if you never mention it, who's going to know about it?" I was like, well, that's a pretty good point. So that sort of becomes the vector this video is going to take. If you don't say something, how are people going to know? And what are the consequences of them not knowing? And what are you going to do about it? And how does that all work together? So then another similar story is I have my merch. There's a guy from 2 years ago who's in my classes 2 years ago, and we'll just say his last name rhymes with Roscoe. I'll just say that and figure out who it is. And he came up to me one day and he was like, "Hey, we were looking at your merch." I was like, "Wow, I was surprised you even found it." And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I think I want to get that onesie." I was like, "You want to get the onesie, the Bill Snodgrass YouTube onesie?" He goes, yeah, and then he had to go. So I turned around, one of my students from this year was standing there, and he was like, "You've got merch for your YouTube channel?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, I set that up. He goes, "Well, why didn't you ever say anything about it?" I was like, I don't know, and I've kind of mentioned it a couple of times, and he was like, "Well, same thing. If you don't mention it, no one is going to know about it. So if you haven't mentioned something, an opportunity, something that you're doing, if you've got something that you're a program that you're going to run at the park commission, or you've got a seminar you're going to put on at the library, or there's some kind of a class you're going to teach at church or something like that, or a club that you run, if you don't tell people about it, they're not going to know. And their reaction to that not knowing is going to be no action. So if no action is the thing that you're going for, keep it up. Don't tell anybody about it. That's sort of the idea behind this video, is that the silence has consequences. The lack of saying, the lack of telling results in consequences. And if you don't tell, then you got to be prepared to deal with those consequences, whatever they are. All right, so what are we gonna do today? Today's gonna be, hopefully it's gonna be fun. I've got a couple more clips for this video. I've got in mind. I wanna go shoot. So we're gonna go do that. Try to get that done this morning, and then I've got another video I want to shoot just for fun. Hopefully I can get that in this morning too. If not, maybe this afternoon, maybe later in the day. So I got basically this video that I'm working on, plus two others I'm going to work on today. Try to get those knocked out. So thanks for being here. Hopefully this is going to be fun. Hopefully this is going to be a little bit of information that is useful to you. And hopefully you'll stick around to the very end. So in case you don't, go ahead and click the like button now. Subscribe to the channel. Meanwhile, let's get going. I got to get out of here. I just stopped to have to have my tea, right? In this place that I'm shopping at, they have this, what do you call it? The card, the customer loyalty card, and they got a contest. If you're registered, you might win 1 million loyalty points. And I think about every 100 loyalty points is about $1 or something like that. I mean, it's like crazified. 1 million loyalty points. That would be pretty cool. I I get a lot of Amazon gift cards with 1 million loyalty points. All right, well, get on with this morning process and go. That's my, I don't know why I do that. Anyway, I've told you before, this is my universal symbol for taking pictures or video. I do not know. Yeah, I got this idea. My wife's birthday, and we've already talked about it, so it's not a surprise. You know, it's time to upgrade her phone. She's got an iPhone 6, not even a 6S, but just a 6, and I think we're gonna try to upgrade her. But she's like, I don't want to go through all the hassle of standing in line and then uploading and so I'm gonna have to coax her through this process in order to get to that reward of having a new phone where the battery will actually last all the way through one meeting without the phone dying. So yeah, she's put that phone. All right. I'm gonna drive now. I'm gonna get to this location where I wanna shoot a couple clips. So that's what's next. This is the LaSalle Conservation Area, and it really doesn't have anything to do with the content of this video, but it's kind of a cool place, and I thought I would just come here and shoot a clip and talk a little bit more about this idea of if you don't say something and the consequences of your silence. From time to time in the past, I've done some family counseling, some work with blended families and work with just new married couples and things like that. And so this next thing I'm going to say kind of comes out of that context of the family. So, quick story. There was a mother, wife, who her report was she would go into the family room and the TV would be on and the games would be all over the place and the boys would be out in the backyard doing their thing. And she would get angry and clean up the mess, and then when they would come in, they would get it all back out and start playing again, and then later on and she would clean up their mess and she would get angry. And so we were talking about this. We're talking about her getting angry and feeling angry all the time. And I said to her, I was like, well, have you ever told the boys how you feel about them leaving the TV on and leaving the games all scattered out? And she says, no. I was like, why not? She goes, well, it's just, I don't know, it's just easier to clean up. Well, it's easier to clean up than clean up, but don't be mad. If you haven't told them, if you've never told them that you want them to clean up the mess before they go outside, then you're forfeiting the right to be angry. You can't be angry unless you have gone to the trouble of telling someone what you're thinking. I think that makes sense. If you're going to take the easy route, instead of going to the door and making them come in and making them clean up and making them turn off the TV and then letting them go back out, if you're going to take the easy route and just clean up yourself and turn the TV off, then you can't be mad, because you can't be angry about something when you've never told them that they need to do that. If you don't tell someone something, they're not going to know. And if they don't know, then your reaction to them, whatever it is, doing or not doing, your reaction is kind of curtailed. You're kind of limited to what your response can be by your silence. If you tell someone what you're thinking, and now they know what you're thinking, and they continue to do the thing, whatever it is, now you have cause for a follow-up conversation where you can explain your frustration. So that's that. That's the next little installment of if you don't tell them, they don't know. And kind of, I guess we would add to that is, if they don't know, then how accountable are they? I mean, some things are common sense, but common sense is something that comes with age, and little guys running around, maybe the common sense is on a back burner at that moment. So this is kind of a cool place. The Kankakee River is over there somewhere, and these waters that you see, these are actually the water. It just is a lot of green stuff growing on top of it. I would assume algae, but I'm not a biologist. So yeah, that's this is like the backwater, swampy, marshy area, and like I said, the river's down there. There's a boat ramp. It's kind of a cool place. So I thought I would come here and, I don't know, just someplace a little bit different. We're gonna move on, and so in doing so, I got this other snap life I'm gonna shoot, and I have another video I'm gonna shoot just for fun. So I've already told you that. Let's go do that. All right, leaving LaSalle now, and I'm not sure about these other two videos I wanted to shoot. I'm not sure if it's gonna work out. Looks like I'll have to look at the radar and see what's going on with the rain, but that's just the way it goes. You know, when you shoot outside, you gotta work with what you got. I just passed the construction zone, and there was a flatbed semi truck unloading a pickup truck at the construction zone. So they brought a pickup truck from somewhere on a flatbed semi truck. How is that ever more efficient? I can't get my head around that. I don't know. So here's what I came up with. Suppose that the pickup truck and the flatbed semi were both somewhere else, and they both needed to be at the construction site. Now it makes sense. That's what I came up with. That's the kind of things that go through my head, trying to make sense of the world as I go through it. So it looks like the rain has held off, and this snap life that I want to shoot, let's see if I can get to a place where I can shoot it up here where I want to shoot it. If not, I'll shoot it somewhere else. But anyway, that's kind of where things stand. So the place I wanted to set up is apparently being watched by a grumpy dude who doesn't look like he wants company. So I'm gonna go ahead and close out the episode. I think it's 177. But before I close this video out, there is one more consideration about your silence. It is very easy to confuse silence with agreement. If you don't say something about something, people will assume that it's okay, whatever the something is, that it's okay. If a manager walks into a production area, passes through without saying anything, then the workers can assume that everything's fine, that they're doing the job the way they're supposed to be doing it. If a teacher passes by and says nothing, then the students can assume that whatever they're doing is probably okay. And if you're in a relationship with someone, if you're in a romantic relationship, or you're married, or you're in a working relationship, or your partner's in a business, or you share an aisle in the sea of cubicles, your silence will be taken as accepting that things are okay the way they are. It is very easy to confuse silence about a situation with acceptance of that situation. I just want to make sure that got in the video before I completely wrap this thing up. So, with that said, back to the closing. And just want to say that, remember, if you don't say something, the other people are not going to know what you're thinking. And if they don't know what you're thinking, then their accountability for whatever it is that you're upset about, or whatever it is that you want, that sort of changes. So hopefully this has been an interesting video that you might want to click that like button. You also might want to subscribe to the channel, sign up for notifications, leave me a comment, question, suggestion. That is all I have for this one. So I will see you in the next one.